welcome to your All About You with this special series called Removing the Stone. And the stone that I would like to speak to you about is a very dangerous one because it's normally invisible. We normally don't see this stone, and when we do see, many times it's already too late. The harm has already been done, and just like a cancer, indeed, I know this is a very strong word, but it's just like a cancer. A cancer is a disease that normally when people find out that they have, is already spread in their body, and there's little the medicine, the doctors can do. Not our God though, right? Our God can do all things. There's nothing impossible for him. But for the medicine, normally when someone finds out that they have this problem, it's already spread all over and the damage is already done. The same thing with this stone, and it's called lack of priorities. That's right, the lack of priority normally leads to serious problem in our spiritual life with us and God, problem in our health, problem in our marriage, problems with our children. And it's very dangerous. Why? Because we think that we are right. We think that we are doing what we are doing for the best. We think that we are doing what we are doing out of love. And we do not see the harm that lack of priority can do. I'm sure that I'm speaking right now with mothers that perhaps they think, no, I have to work all day and all night. And it's right, you have to work. But if you are a mother and you don't give attention to your children, who will? Who will? No one, right? So yes, you do need to work. Yes, you do need to provide for them. And you do it out of a good heart. And this is why lack of priority is so dangerous, because it blindsides us. We do it out of a good heart. But thank God you're having the opportunity to watch this, to learn about this, so that you cannot fall into this trap. So normally the mother will say like this, no, I'm doing this out of love for my child. They need to live in the best areas. They need to dress up in the best way. They need to eat well. I'm doing this for them out of a good place. However, nothing can replace your attention. No money, no beautiful house, right? No tasteful food, not even the most expensive restaurants can replace 5 minutes of your attention as a mother. Perhaps I'm talking here to wives that think like this. No, I need my independence. I need to have my own career and work and yes, right, good for you. You do have to have your independence. However, if you are a wife, you chose to be a wife, if you do not take care of your husband, of his needs, who will? That's why sometimes, and this is not an excuse, okay? I'm not here defending the men, saying that they have rights to look elsewhere. But sometimes they do not find in their wives what other women are giving them outside. And perhaps you're doing it, out of your good heart. No, I'm working hard because together we will build this, we will build that. Great, wonderful. However, first things first, you are a wife and you have to prioritize your husband. Because again, if you don't take time to talk, if you don't take time to be with him, to serve him, who will? right? And what about your health? What about your body? How many people fall sick because, again, out of a good heart, they want even to serve God. They want to serve. They work, and then from work they go straight to church. Or perhaps you're single, you're not married, right? You are a youth. How many youths they get sick because they don't have balance with their health? They disregard. They couldn't care less because all they think about is, no, I'm doing this for God. I'm doing this to serve God. Even if I don't sleep, if I only get 4 hours sleep, 5 hours, it's fine. Why am I saying this? Because it happened to me. And I'm not here judging you, okay? Because, as I said, this is very dangerous because we do it out of a good heart, out of a good intention, and that's why it's so dangerous. This happened to me, and as a pastor's wife, I wanted to please God and serve God so much that I put the work that I was doing, which was God's work, above even God. To the point that I would wake up, not even talk to Him in the first place. I would not even consider His will in the first place. I would not ask Him, God, what would you like me to do today? Or, Lord, thank you for this day. I wouldn't do that. I would go straight on my phone and say, let me see what I need to do today. Because I thought this is God's work, and I thought that I was pleasing God. And so throughout the day, I would allow the work consume my time. So I wouldn't seek God anymore. Even my husband's need was left aside because all I could think about was serving. And I blindly thought that if I was serving, I was pleasing God. Until I fell sick. Yes, I ended up with a severe fatigue. I couldn't remember things anymore. There was a time when I was really, and God allowed me to feel that way so that I could take some time to think and evaluate, and that was when He could show me these things, where I was going wrong. And thank God He did, because had He not done so, I don't know where I would be today. In my health, in my marriage, and in my spiritual life, in my salvation. So I was working so much blindsided that I became sick. I was cold spiritually. And in regards to my health, I couldn't remember things anymore. I couldn't remember what I ate. In the morning, if it was lunchtime and you asked me what I ate in the morning, I couldn't remember. I was having palpitations. My heart was beating so fast, accelerating so fast. And God is so good that He used a servant of His to tell me, Flavia, I think you are stressed. And I told her, stressed? Me? No way, I'm not stressed. And she said, Flavia, you are stressed. And at that moment, I didn't understand. I thought that stress is from the devil. How can I have the Holy Spirit? I'm not going to be stressed. But those words made me think, wait a moment, let me consider here. And when I was there, having a hard time to breathe, couldn't remember a thing, feeling very cold spiritually, this is when God showed me, how can you please me if you don't even consider me? So it was so clear to me that I cannot please God if my health is affected, if my family is being affected. I cannot please Him. Because what is His commandment? Love God above everything, right? That's the first commandment. So these should be our priorities. God, ourselves, and our family. I'll show you in the Bible, because He says, The first commandment is love the Lord your God above all. So if your work, whatever it is for God, maybe you are a pastor's wife, maybe you are an assistant, or maybe, I don't know, you are a youth, I don't know, whoever you are, if your service to God is taking you away from God, it's not pleasing Him, because you're breaking the first commandment. How can you please Him if you're breaking the first commandment, right? And what is the second commandment? Love your neighbors as you love yourself. Now, if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbors? It's not gonna be possible. And how can you say you love yourself if you don't take care of yourself? You don't rest, you don't take time to eat. It's all about work, 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 work. So you can't please God if you're neglecting your health. You have this headache that doesn't go away. You don't know why it's always there, and you couldn't care less. All you do is to take some painkillers for it to go away. But then 2 days down the line, there you have the headache again and again and again, and you don't take time. You don't take time to go to the doctor to see what's going on. You don't take time to evaluate. So if you're neglecting your health, you're not pleasing God. And then your neighbors, because it's love your neighbors as you love yourself. So who is your closest neighbors? Your family. Your family. If you're married, it's your wife, your husband. If you have children, it's your husband and your children. If you're not married, it's your parents. So how can you honor everyone else? You honor your pastor. If your pastor calls you to do something, you are there. Yes, pastor. Can you go there? Yes. If an assistant or your team leader, maybe you're from the VYD, your team leader calls you to do, let's go this, let's evangelize. You say yes. Yes to everyone. But when it comes to your husband, to your children, to your parents, it's a no. It's always a no. If your child calls you, Mom, can you read this story? No, I don't have time. If your husband calls you, let's do this. Sorry, no, I don't have time. If your husband asks you, let's watch this together. No, I don't have time. If your parents calls you to cook lunch together, to help them prepare or to clean the house, you say, no, sorry, I don't have time. So if we neglect God and His teachings, His commandment, there's no way we are going to be pleasing Him. So may the Holy Spirit use this video and bless you, those who have a sincere desire to please God, those who have a sincere desire to honor Him. Do you want to honor Him? Obey His commandment. Obey. Love the Lord your God, and love your neighbors as you love yourself. So prioritize well. God first, then you, and then your family, and then the work of God, your career, everything else that you want. But you cannot replace these three priorities for anything else, because if you do, you will suffer the consequences, right? When we disobey, God teaches us. He doesn't force us. He teaches us. He says, I've set before you life and death. Choose life and live happily. So choose to obey. Choose to prioritize. Be humble to evaluate your situation, and of faith to take the right decision to change. And stay tuned, because there will be more videos to help you get closer to God by removing the stones that are separating you from Him. Okay? God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.